Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to point your guys' attention to two free games available right now. Two great games at that. Both of them are in Steam copies, so that's kind of unfortunate. But nonetheless, great games are great games. And one of those games is coming from the Epic Games Store. And I want to take a look at an absolutely insane statistic that really points to why Epic Games is able to make all of the moves that they're currently making, why that they've opened up their own store, and why they can arrange all of these exclusive agreements. And then I want to round out the video by taking a look at something the producer of Tales of Vesperia said regarding Steam. Tales of Vesperia, of course, coming to PC on January 10th, I believe. And it looks like the Steam performance of the Tales of franchise is very good, and it goes to show with a lot of Japanese games in general, they do relatively well on PC, so I'll take a look at what he said at the end of this video. First up, let's take a look at the free games. You can get Soma absolutely free on GOG right now. Of course, GOG is a DRM-free platform, but still give it a look. Soma is a terrific game done by Frictional Games, the guys that also did Amnesia, and in my eyes, Soma was an even better game. This game released all the way back in like September of 2015, and it came out to a pretty decent reception, but over the years, it hasn't really had that lasting power as, say, Amnesia has had, and I don't really understand why, because again, I think Soma's a better game than Amnesia. It's a terrific survival horror game, and it's light on the combat and action gameplay, which is the right route to go for a survival horror game in my eyes, especially one like this, and visually it looks great, the atmosphere is on point, the storytelling is super psychological, and I just can't say enough good things about Soma. It's a really good game, and I bought it originally when it came out all those years ago. I enjoyed it back then, and if you want a quality survival horror game, I mean, I don't even have to sell you on it because it's free, but definitely give Soma a look. Just sit down and play it. Have the headphones on, and it's a very absorbing, atmospheric experience that I think you guys are really gonna like. A combination of stealth, exploration, puzzles, a lot to like in here. It's a relatively short experience, all things considered, but again, absolutely free, and I'll leave a link to that where you guys can get a free copy of that over at GOG.
You're in a safe place. Alright, let's try again. There is no need to be concerned. You are always safe.
Moving on from that, the Epic Games Store no longer has Subnautica for free, but instead they are offering Super Meat Boy for free from today until January 10th. So this is, of course, exclusive to the Epic Games Store. This is one of the big incentives that they are running every 2 weeks. They are going to be offering free games to entice you guys to download the Epic Games platform, and Super Meat Boy is their latest offering. Now, Super Meat Boy is a rather good game. It's a super challenging platformer, and we are going to get a follow-up to Super Meat Boy early next year with Super Meat Boy Forever, and I believe that game looks to be an exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Yes, it's a one-year timed exclusive, so that is something to note as well. But I know some of you guys don't want to drop your money on the Epic Games Store, but hey, free games are free games. You can always just download the Epic Games platform and download all of the free games, and then never actually drop any real money. But really, the idea of this is offer the free games to get you to download the platform and get you into that Epic Games ecosystem, and then hopefully, I'm sure the belief from Epic is that maybe you'll invest some money as well and check out games like Ashen that are available right now, Hades in early access, and other games that they're bringing out. But again, Super Meat Boy free right now over at the Epic Games platform. Moving on from that, speaking of Epic Games, we all know how Epic has the finances to make these giant moves that they're doing, and it is of course all stemming from Fortnite. Well, a report came in that Fortnite banked a whopping $3 billion, not in revenue, in profit in 2018. That is an absolutely staggering number, and to put this into perspective, Steam very recently started something where if a game generates $10 or $50 million of revenue, that they're going to give you additional shares. Well, think about $10 or $50 million. $50 million of revenue. That's not even profit. That's strictly revenue. That's something that's very, very difficult to achieve, and only the top games are really going to achieve it. Epic Games with Fortnite are banking in $3 billion of profit. At this point, they have so much money that they don't even know what to do with it. Now, Fortnite does require some sort of maintenance cost, but it's not all all too crazy, it sure as hell ain't $3 billion, and that's why they have all this profit to work with, and that's how they are acquiring all of these exclusive agreements. And given that they have this much money, I think it's only a matter of time before we see some major publisher or developer sign up with Epic Games, and I do foresee it being a little bit troublesome, because if you remember, Rise of the Tomb Raider was a game that signed up an exclusivity agreement with the Xbox One when the Xbox One was really at its lowest point, and it had a timed exclusive release on the Xbox One. And the thing is, even though it came to PC and PlayStation 4 down the line, it did okay on PC, but I feel like that was one of the many reasons that did long-term damage to Tomb Raider, and now you see the commercial numbers of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's the worrisome thing when it comes to these exclusive agreements. But given that Epic Games has this much money to work with, but there are some positives. I don't want to make it seem like this is all negative, because I think that's what the majority of people are going to look at this with. First of all, this means that the developers are just going to have money to inherently develop these games. Some of these studios have ambitious goals and ideas. They don't have the finances to make their dream into a reality. With Epic Games backing them, now you actually have a platform and a publisher in the PC realm that's going to help other developers make their dreams come to reality. In the case of Sony and Microsoft can inherently back games. On PC, you really don't generally have that. You don't see Valve really backing other developers to make their games become reality. They have Steam Greenlight, but they're not really throwing money at these developers. Maybe that'll change. Valve, of course, does have the money, and I would like to see Steam make some major moves, have some exclusive agreements. If Epic Games is doing it, Valve can sure as hell do it. I guess Valve isn't really incentivized to do it because they have such a stranglehold in the market, but we'll see if Epic Games can make moves. They've got $3 billion to work with, so let's see what happens with that. Obviously, they're not seeing the entirety of that $3 billion, but just know they have an absolutely insane amount of money, FU money at this point, so they don't have to worry about finances at all. And lastly, I do want to cover something pretty interesting regarding the Tales of franchise. Of course, this is one of my favorite JRPG franchises on PC. I always talk very highly about it. I talked highly about Tales of Berseria. Tales of Symphonia is available on PC. It's pretty good. The PC port left a little bit to be desired, but since its release, it's been remedied a lot. Tales of Zestiria wasn't my favorite game out of the franchise, but it's a very good PC port, so it's another game worth checking out. And Tales of Vesperia is coming to PC on January 10th. I believe it's actually releasing a day ahead of time on PC, comparatively speaking to all of the other platforms. That typically happens with the Tales of games. That's just something I've noticed. I don't know why that happens, but it's just something that does happen. And the Tales of games have been making a big impact on Steam, and the producer of the game talked a little bit about how the PC versions do, and here's what he said. He stated that one of the big goals of this game is to help the series go fully multi-platform. The Steam versions of Tales games in particular sell very well. While this time the concept was to bring a good game to current platforms as it was, Tamizawa wants the team to challenge itself for future Tales games. While the team will keep the aspects of the Tales of series that should never be changed, he wants to reconsider how much of the series should be changed. If you actually look at Steam Spy numbers of the Tales of games, they are rather good. I think Zestiria's at 500,000. I think Symphonia fares a little bit worse, but Berseria's around that same level of 500,000. Remember, these are all digital sales where they are seeing a large portion of that revenue. So it's good to see that Japanese games are making an impact on PC. I know a large portion of my audience aren't super into the games, but hey, I also know there are some of you guys that are also really into it. I see the popularity of games like Nier Automata, Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition, the Tales of games, and it does seem like the audience for these games are growing, and Tales of Vesperia, in my opinion, is either one of, if not the best game in the entire Tales of franchise. I absolutely love Vesperia, played it all the way back in 2008, and I'm really excited to revisit the game on January 10th on PC. It's gonna look great, it's gonna play great, I'm sure of that, given all of the other Tales of games and how they've done on PC. I'm sure they're gonna knock it out of the park with Tales of Vesperia, and by the way, this game is also coming to Switch and Xbox One, so it's really going multi-platform. It's gonna be available on everything, and that's pretty cool to see. As far as other Japanese titles, of course, I want to see Persona 5 on PC, and hopefully at some point we can make that a reality. I'm hearing rumbles of a Persona 5 Complete Edition, so maybe with that release we could see a Persona 5 PC version as well. I think that game would do incredibly well on PC and would just expand the Japanese gaming audience on PC even more, but that's just speculation on my part, so I'll put a kibosh to that. That's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, you can check out free copies of Soma and Super Meat Boy right now. Soma on GOG, Super Meat Boy at the Epic Games Store. Epic Games is banking in $3 billion of profit in 2018. If you think they don't have the money to make all of these exclusive agreements, got some bad news for you, and I expect them to make some even more major agreements in 2019. But hey, we probably will see a lot of free games being given out every 2 weeks. We'll be getting free free games, and if they have this much money to work with, maybe we'll see the game offerings get better and better. And Tales of Vesperia, remember, that comes to PC on January 10th, and the Tales of games have been doing rather well on PC. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. If you have a request for a future video, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.